Hello there, and welcome to the CP7 podcast. My name's Palm.
And I'm Andy.
And I'm Emily.
And together, we are Chrono Passion 7. Hello, and welcome back to your favourite watch-related podcast. Today, we have someone who is back by popular demand. When she left us, she was but a watch girl with a secret diary, and now she's very much a mighty watch woman, very public, suit and tie. We have Emily Marsden from Secret Diary of a Watch Girl. Welcome back, Emily.
Thank you for having me. The listeners should know that I'm actually not wearing a suit or a tie. I'm very much in a hoodie and behaving like a normal human.
All will be revealed why I said that later in the show.
Well, I think people think I wear suit and ties, which is true. I wear them most of the time. I just like the world to know that I have been known to wear a nice heavy hoodie every now and again.
Okay, so you haven't gone full Marlene Dietrich just yet.
There's time. I'm hoping. It is my aspiration. I've just not quite gotten there yet.
Great to have you on the show, Emily. And before we kick things off, the burning question is, how's the XL going? No, actually, we've got to go to the wristwatches first. We will get back to the XL, but what's on your wrist? What are you wearing?
I am wearing a Jacob & Co. No, I'm actually not wearing a watch. I'm not wearing a watch. I don't want to let you down.
Oh, you spoiled it.
I couldn't lie. I'm not. Look, I'm a lot of things. I've got a lot of flaws and a lot of faults, but I'm not a liar. I don't actually have a watch on my wrist. I do, however, have a watch upstairs in my bag, which is a Cabaret, which won't surprise anyone. It is a Lange Cabaret. I worked out this afternoon and then sort of like got changed and just didn't put it back on. It's kind of the honest truth. But that thing, I bought it about a month ago, hasn't left my wrist. Yellow gold. It's my first yellow gold watch. I didn't think I'd ever be a yellow gold person. I'm a little bit obsessed. It's a bit unhealthy. Andy.
Nothing wrong with that. It's a stunning watch. I think all of us would be equally obsessed if we owned such a beautiful piece. And yeah, maybe we'll get into your Lange journey a little bit later as well. But over to Palm. What do you have today?
Okay, so I've got a vintage Seiko Lord Matic from 1972. A 5601 9000 with its original Jubilee linen dial, and it's got this awesome beads of rice bracelet, and I believe that's the original as well, because I checked it out with a good friend of mine who's into Seiko. Shout out to Faisal. And the cool thing about this is it's got a spring-loaded clasp, adjustment clasp, so you don't need to click anything into place, it just goes to the size of your wrist. It's got Breguet numerals, and as I mentioned before, that linen dial, 36mm, dressy, kind of sporty, vintage look. Very Don Draper. Very Don Draper this is, and I really like this watch. It's probably the cheapest watch I own.
Very cool.
Don Draper's watch styling is just the best of John Hamm's watch
Definitely,
wearing.
100%.
Explorer 1 and the Reverso Classic, come on.
That's what I've got on my wrist. And Andy, what have you got today?
I've gone back to the AP, so I'm wearing the AP 5043 in platinum, which is somewhat of a unicorn, some would say, and on a really funky looking Stingray strap, which is like a burgundy colour. And yeah, loving it. I nickname it the Diva. These ultra thin, it's the 2003 calibre, which is an incredible feat of engineering, especially for the time. But with that feat of engineering, sacrifices were made, like no shock resistance and things like this, so they are a little bit more sensitive, so I found out when it needed a bit of a service. But it's great now. It's running great now. Touch wood. So that's what's on my wrist.
Do you have any other platinum watches?
No, so this is my first. This is the first platinum I've ever owned.
How do you feel? Different?
It does feel quite significant, yeah. And it has a weight to it, a different kind of weight compared to gold. Even though it's quite a small watch, it does have some weight to it, yeah. And it kind of glows in a different way, the platinum. What I love is its stealth wealth. Like, nobody would know. If I just saw it, it's like, oh, it's just a boring little watch. But then when you know what it is, you see it in the correct light, and it's got that glow, like a special kind of hue to the platinum. And with what it actually is and what's underneath, yeah, it is really special. I'm quite besotted with it, even though it has caused me some stress, let's say.
I think you can't truly be besotted unless it's caused you a bit of pain. It's the part of being human. It's got to give you a bit of ag.
Yeah, it's got a personality now. So I think that's helped.
Yeah.
It's actually helped me bond with it in a weird way, which I wouldn't have expected. Anyway, we could be 1 hour on this AP, so we'll move on.
Nice watch. Long story.
Very long story.
So, Emily, once again, welcome back to the show. Your profile has just taken off since we last spoke to you. It was pretty high up there anyway, but it seems to have just skyrocketed. You've got your own YouTube channel. You've been on multiple factory visits. You've been wined and dined by brands and serenaded by watch companies. Our last show was released on March 16th, 2025. Wow. Tell us a bit about what you've been up to since you were last on the show.
Gosh, I don't even know where to start. No, you're right. The social media, it was genuinely never planned. And even now, it almost doesn't sound believable if I say to you, it was never on the plan. It was never intentional. As you two will well know, I usually just shoot from the hip and riff off about whatever happens to be on my mind. There's really nothing more to it than that. The YouTube started, I took a break from work. I was on garden leave for 3 months, something like that, over the summer just gone. So pretty much August to about November. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I've got all these videos filmed. It's just me usually with, a little camera. I should just do something with them, put them out. I have a bunch of friends, kind of like you guys and what you're doing, that I love talking to. I'll just stick a camera in front of us and see what happens. And then that kind of ticked along, and then I got lucky perhaps and started to develop a really interesting relationship with Brette from my sort of obsession with what he's produced and what he represents. Went over and filmed a sort of short documentary on what I find more interesting is the person. You can read the specs online and you'll find much better photos than I can take. But what I love doing is chatting to people, exactly what you guys do, and really understanding what makes people tick, not to be corny on the watch jokes, but that's really been the focus. And on the back of that, on the back of just doing more off-the-cuff storytelling, it does seem to have somewhat propelled itself. I've been doing a little bit of buying as well. Bought my first Lange a month ago. And by the way, completely unplanned that Wilhelm, the CEO, would be in London and that I would be at that event the month after. It was completely unplanned.
What's the story there? Sorry, I don't know the story there. What do you mean, Wilhelm being where?
So Wilhelm opened the Lange boutique, the flagship store in London.
Yes, okay.
So he's the CEO. He came over to London, and because I bought my watch, basically Justin had filmed me, really off the cuff. Justin Haas picking up my watch. Again, not edited. It is literally just his camera in my face. And Wilhelm had seen it, and I guess liked the story, liked the engagement with the brand. So when I met him, which wasn't the first time I met him. I actually met him the first time in 2018 when I was a waitress for him on his table. Obviously, he doesn't remember that,
Really?
but I did. So I told him this story.
You knew who he was then, when you were 18?
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew who he was. I always wanted a Lange. It was the Concourse of Elegance at Hampton Court, 2018. I was a student. I had minus £8.23 in my bag. I've still got the emails. I've got the screenshots of me emailing them saying, "Hey guys, you've still not paid me my £243 or whatever it was." I spilt a glass of wine over a guest in the VIP tent. Yeah,
Oh, really?
over her fur.
Okay, nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wasn't a great waitress. Ouch. I can understand why they didn't pay me on time. But that was that. So then I stole the apron that said Lange on it. I asked them for a book. They gave it to me, very kind. And I was like, you know what, one day I'm going to own one of these things. And that was that. Fast forward to 2026. That day came, and then a month later, I actually just shot a short film with Wilhelm talking about it and talking about what the cabaret is, what my perception is as a young-ish person wearing a watch like that. I think of Lange, and I do not think of anything other than proper traditional watchmaking. They don't react to the market. They almost don't really care what the market's doing. They just do Lange. Whether that's good or bad is not for me to judge, but what I would say about them is that they are just, you know exactly what you're going to get. And that, for me, comes from Wilhelm and his stewardship of the brand. That was really cool. So that's the story there. Between 2018 and 2026 was the waiting period. And now it's finally happened.
Quite a journey moving away from more IWC from when we last spoke to you to Lange. It was quite a jump.
It is a jump. Not moving away. I still, very much own my IWCs, very much a huge fan. I think they have a wonderful story to tell. I probably wear them less. I would definitely say that. It dawned on me last week I haven't worn my Harvey Pilot chronograph, which I love, I don't even know. I honestly couldn't tell you. So I'm going to go get them out of the safe. I don't keep anything at home, which is also probably why. I keep one watch, London.
That makes it difficult.
But yeah, no, it's not moving away, but definitely moving towards. I've got a real love at the moment for Lange. They're just magical. And AP, they're two watch brands that I'm teetering around the edge of.
AP, Lange, yes. Big leagues then.
Yeah. It feels significantly more grown up than I feel on the inside. But yeah. Do you know what? You know what's really cool about it, actually? I went home a couple months ago, back to Manchester. And it really hit me. I went home, by the way, because AP launched AP House in Manchester.
Okay.
And I went as a customer, I guess, which was amazing. I remember, a little council estate kid that was like, oh my God, I'm going to have an AP one day. So to go back, it was December 2025. I stayed with my nan who lives in Manchester. I got the bus in a full suit, tie, got the bus to
Really?
AP House. Yeah.
So that's not a new thing. Oh, you mean, okay, yeah, to Manchester recently, you're talking about the suit tie thing, not when you were a kid. All right, okay.
Yeah. AP House. Everyone else was like, drive, take a taxi.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm getting the bus in a full suit. People were like, who is that? Who is that Londoner? Went to AP House, and yeah, it really hit me that there is a beauty to life, and we probably should all stop sometimes and reflect. And I'm really in that at the moment of, this is insane. I could never have dreamt of it. So I'm highly aware that these are things that I've coveted for a lifetime, really.
18 years old, you coveted AP and Lange. I mean, that's... I don't even think I knew what those were. I'm a lot older, so obviously they probably weren't around then. But yeah, I'd be like, oh God, I want a tag. When in my day, tag Oyer was the thing everyone wanted. But wow, that's big goals.
Quite, yeah, exactly.
Before we move away from AP, I know you recently picked up a Code 1159, and that's relatively, some would say it's a controversial piece. I wouldn't say so. I think there's beauty to the watch, and of course there is, and we'll get into it. But many people are like, oh, it's the watch you have to buy to get a Royal Oak. But I don't think in this case that's your journey with the Code 11. So I'm just curious and for our listeners, what drew you to the Code 1159?
I hope this goes down well and comes across nicely. My first watch from AP House was a Royal Oak. It was a 50th anniversary Royal Oak. So it's absolutely not that for me. I didn't need to buy a Code 1159. I've been very lucky. It's a very long story as to how I got it. I had no social media, by the way, at that point. It's completely unrelated. Basically, the people in the queue for it couldn't pick it up, and it had to be picked up that day. They told me this. Like, if you can come in the next 2 hours, we're closing tomorrow for Christmas.
Wow.
It has to go. So it was pure luck that I got it.
Wow.
So I've done the Royal Oak. I love that. So the code wasn't that. I just want to be super clear. I think the Code 1159 is just an incredible watch. It is architecturally interesting. It is a canvas for what AP do best, which is complication. It is singular in that there is nothing like it in the market. It manages to be futuristic in that anything futuristic. Think of the Walkman when it came out. Nobody wanted the Walkman. Nobody understood the Walkman. And then it blew up. Think of the iPod. Why would I need this thing, right? I'm not necessarily comparing the code to those things. I'm just comparing it to things that aren't understood at the time. The Code 1159 is everything we complain about answered. It's the watch industry just changes the dials. It doesn't do anything innovative. All watches look the same. It's just another integrated sports bracelet. It's none of that. You could never argue that the code is that. At the same time, managed to have quite a nice nod to the hexagonal Royal Oak, with the sandwich case. So it looks circular, but actually it's not. But it's so subtle that it's not trying to be the Royal Oak. So for me, the code is. Have you handled one?
Not recently. I've handled the Friends.
When you move that sapphire and you play with it, I think regardless of whether you like the watch, that gets everyone. It's cool.
I think maybe geeking out a little bit. I was reading about the lugs, out of all things. I've got an AP book at home. I was reading about how they did the lugs for the Code 1159, how they've attached them so that the watch is still accessible for service. It's been done in a certain complex way.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
The way they've been attached to the actual case. Yeah, I think they're kind of like maybe heat welded on in some way. So they're not part of the case. They're manufactured separate, I believe, and then
they're skeletonized. They're really architectural. Yeah. I think architectural is the way I would describe the Code 1159. Every facet has some architectural merit on its own. So the lugs, the sapphire. By the way, 2019, this watch sucked. It was so bad. It was really bad. I will call a spade a spade. I'm not just trying to defend AP because I have one. I'm really not. I didn't vibe with it at all. But they've moved away from a lot of those small design decisions that I think led to a big problem. And stuff like, you think the tapisserie dial for the Royal Oak. I now think the concentric circles are that for the Code 1159. They got rid of the numerals, all these small changes. And if you see the track, the sort of second hand, it's just cool. I think they've refined it in a way that the market is starting to appreciate it more and understand it.
To warm to it, yeah.
And I think that will only get better the more they push into high complications that us mere people can't afford, right? Like we're talking like 500k RD4s, all that stuff. It ultimately means, well, how do I access that thing? It's sort of like we all probably secretly want the more complicated version of something, but we can't have it. And I think that will happen slowly over time to the code. And I think it's also kind of reductive to say, well, the code's not successful because it has a terrible market value on the secondary. Most watches just do, and that is a reality. I think it sells for 23. On the secondary, it sells for about 16, 17. It's not that bad. It's not great, but find me any IWC or Omega or basically any brand that's not Rolex or is not a Nautilus or an Aquanaut.
And who's to say what will be the market value of those pieces if you hold on to them as well? But you shouldn't buy them for that purpose anyway.
No, but I agree with you.
If you truly like
Times
it, you buy
change,
it
right?
for that. But,
if you're interested in value, my view on that is always, even in my day job as well, I very much work in the startup world, private markets. If you were constantly chasing what's cool today, you'd make no money and you would invest in the wrong things. You kind of have to be like, well, what's my conviction? What's my perspective? What do I believe in? And follow that. And for me, that's almost like a life well lived.
Just interestingly on that, when people say you only get a code 1159 to get a Royal Oak, sometimes that is true, and sometimes, like in your case, that isn't true. What did it make? How do you feel when you hear people say that, especially seeing that you own one? And then what would you say to people who believe that?
I can't speak for other people's experiences. I have spoken to people in my personal life who have had that experience, right? Again, I love AP, but I'm not in the business of fabricating stuff. I highly doubt anyone is ever told, you have to buy this. I imagine it's kind of strongly suggested. Yeah. It's never happened to me. Would I buy a watch to get access to something? I personally just don't want anything enough to do that. When I released my first video about it, it was like my watch story in under 5 minutes. And it was almost every comment, certainly on YouTube, was, you bought this because you don't understand watches. You bought this because you just want a Royal Oak. And it was just sort of kind of incessant. It feels to me like any trope in life. It's got some truth in it, but it's academically lazy. Sure, it's probably happened. There is probably also minor frustration that you can't get a Royal Oak. By the way, if I tried to go get a jumbo, I'd get laughed out. There's no way I'm getting a jumbo. Yeah. And I probably would have to have spend history to get a jumbo. I got a 34mm Royal Oak, right? So there's truth in that. I also don't necessarily think it's that unfair. But I also know of people that have gotten watches on their first allocation because they're just so passionate and engaged. And the brand also loves that too. So I don't know. I reject it because it's not my experience. Yeah. But, people can have their own experiences.
I totally agree. It's lazy and people want something new. Again, a lot of brands get criticized for not doing something new, and they do something new and they get criticized for doing it. And it's just a vicious circle. I just want to know your take on that, because COVID, that whole hype, the Nautilus, the Royal Oak, Daytona, these were the things you had to have. These were the grails. And I know a lot of people's grails have now changed since that's all gone. A lot of those people have got into watches and thought, you know what, there's so much more to them than that. So there's so much more to appreciate than that as well. So I think not the interest, people will always be interested in those watches, but just that whole I have to have it or nothing else has changed.
Great.
Those watches, they kind of cause a lot of debate. The Royal Oak, the Nautilus, the Daytona, those ones in particular, the ones that really grind people's gears. Because you will get people who are like proper watch, got people who love them for their merit, and they'll get people who just hate them for what they represent.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you on that one. It's just so interesting how everything changes. It's like you could buy one and people could just look at you and think, oh, yeah, I think I've got you sussed out now. But back then, in 12 months, 24 months ago, it's like, wow, you're the main, you're the man.
Yeah, you've got that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so true. So I think that is definitely true. Even you see these high-end collectors, even they're like, oh, I'm just wearing my Daytona today. It's kind of like naturally reductive, which is bonkers. It's completely bonkers. It's almost cool now to be somewhat avant-garde and maybe have your own view. I would actually say we've gone back to how watch collecting used to be.
Yeah,
We
I
had
agree.
a few years of hype, ruined it, and now people just buy what they like for the most part. Because we could look at Jean, right? There's always going to be something that goes wild. You could buy an Elegant or you could buy a Porsche 911, right? Like, that is insane. It's just bonkers. So it's whatever people decide to get behind, and I'm sure a lot of people behind Jean are incredible, tasteful watch collectors who have had them for years, and I'm sure there are people behind Jean that are speculative and don't care about watches. I'm sure there are people behind Jean who just want to be the cool kid on the block and pay 100 grand for an Elegant, right? It's everyone, it's life. It's just kind of an eclectic bunch of people, and to be reductive and sort of say you are this thing, I don't know, it kind of takes the fun out of it as well.
Yeah, it does. And just on that question, which would you choose, the 911 or the Elegant?
I would choose the 911.
Me too. I was thinking the same thing.
Good choice.
Yeah, it feels a bit more like I could just go out. I'm not even a car person, but that sounds quite fun on an open road.
Yeah.
I could get behind that.
Yeah.
A watch, it's just watch.
Yeah. Again, it's very... You can read two ways into a 911 owner. One, someone who wants to go out on the road and just feel free, and the other one is, look what car I've got. I'm a stockbroker or something like, or I'm this or I'm that. But
you can't win, can you?
No,
if you can't. Have nice.
If you have something nice, if you follow, this is a whole different episode 3. We'll talk about this, but you could just talk about like what a watch means to you, or what a possession, a popular possession, seems to cause more debate than a niche one, rather than a run-of-the-mill Submariner or a Porsche 911.
Yeah.
Those two are probably the milestones for cars and for watches, I'd say.
It's a shame, though, right? It is a shame that, say you genuinely love the Nautilus, for example, that's the one you want, whichever reference it may be, and then you get this stigma because it's like, oh, they're trying to follow the hype train, or you're just buying that as a flex, but it's not. It's because you actually appreciate the design and the story of it being drawn on a serviette and all this kind of stuff. It kind of kills the enjoyment for the person who bought it for the genuine reasons as well. But as you say, you're always going to get that.
Don't listen to it. It's just not.
Yeah,
not healthy. It's not healthy.
Yeah, again,
do your own thing.
Yeah, you've got to be yourself with watches, I think.
Honestly, I think about this all the time. Like, is this my opinion, or is this a collection of everybody else's opinion? And really, if you sit down and ask yourself that, it's hard sometimes when you realise the latter. It's a journey. We all go on it.
Skin in the game as well, I think. As when I first got properly into watches, it would have been like 2019. COVID time, when everybody's got a bit more money. It's a similar story for a lot of us, right? Like, still loved watches prior to that, but I was more in a position where I'm not going on holiday anymore, so I can buy watches, so things changed, right?
Yeah.
But back then, my, let's say, social media influences, being a consumer, not being in the industry like now, I was easily influenced by the herd mentality. Like, oh, you've got to if you're buying a Rolex, it can't be an old one. You need to have the modern iteration, and it needs to be this certain diameter. If you get a 36, it's a ladies' Rolex. You're not. Yeah, you buy a 36 Datejust, which is an awesome watch, or even a 34 if you so wish. But in those circles back then, if you went, hey, I just got the 34 Datejust from the 80s or whatever, you'd just be frowned upon, like, oh, you made a big mistake. How can we help you get out of this kind of thing? Even though you're genuinely happy with what you got. So I think the longer you're in the hobby, you start to find your feet and your voice and confidence not to care what other people think.
Yeah.
And only care about yourself, right? It's like wearing a jacket. As long as you like wearing that jacket, what does it matter what anybody else thinks?
A million people have got the same jacket. It means it's a popular style. Doesn't mean that you're a sheep. It just means it's a nice jacket.
Yeah, there's a reason the 5711 is iconic, right? Like, it is just cool. It's a really nice. The 3800 is a great watch. Yeah. It is just a beautiful watch. It's also just fine to do your own thing. If you want that, get it. If you don't. Just enjoy. Yeah,
I mean, you can never really be truly unique. I only get this, I only get that. If you wear a watch that more than another person, including yourself, wears, then that's not unique. So you either wear a piece unique and then that's it, or you're a sheep. No.
And that's it. Problem solved.
But maybe that's the way.
Unique.
Everyone gets a piece unique, that's it. That actually leads me nicely into the next thing I want to ask you about, and that is you've also been on a bit of a deep dive into independence. and independent watchmaking. Simon Brette in particular. Now, that's a name. I mean, Raoul Paget, and there's so many independent watchmakers coming up, new ones that are coming up and just really, maybe not the newest, Brechepi, are really coming to the forefront in terms of popularity and recognition. What is it about Simon Brette? Because that's not a watchmaker I'm that familiar with. I think it's from yourself that I've actually heard about him more than anywhere else. What is it? What's the story there?
Where did it start? I think my first ever video I ever did, which was a video with Justin on the 2 Watch collection, and I had like 50 followers and my face wasn't on my Instagram account. I spoke about Roger Smith and I spoke about Simon Brette. It's just people I was interested in. And then like tagged them or something, thinking nothing would come of it. And both of them responded with, if you're ever around, let's get lunch. And I obviously very happily followed up with both of them, actually. And I was in Geneva for something, I don't particularly remember what, in the November, and at auctions, I was there for auctions. And Simon was like, sure, come over to the workshop. It's the first time I'd ever seen his watch in person. We had lunch, and there is something about the world of independence where 9 times out of 10, it's like any watch. You might like it, but then you pick it up and you go, that's cool, and you sort of it's just a watch. Like, I love AP and Lange and whatever, but I'm not drawn to everything they do. Yeah. I might like it, but I'm not, my heart doesn't beat faster for it. This was very different with the Chronometer Artisan. Now, number one, I love the story. This idea of a guy who had a successful career as a movement designer, worked at MB&F and similar successful places, has been very much a part of some really innovative things. Was about to have a baby and was like, I got to do my own thing here. I've got to sort of make my own, mark in the world. Then went back to the OG of watchmaking, which is to use the local people around you who are the best in their craft, who all build components and you bring them together. We think that vertical integration is the best, right? In-house, all the rest of it. That's not how the watch industry started out. That this is the purest form of it. And built something that I think is technically interesting, aesthetically outstanding, and truly, I mean, it, right? Like, it doesn't look like anything else. But also, there's a really cool story with the original 12 subscription members behind it. Well, there's actually 11, because one guy bought 2, one for him and his wife. So all those things put together, I picked up the watch. When I was there, for some reason, Ben Clymer's watch was there. And again, that maybe added something for like 13-year-old me. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, he wasn't there, but, the watch was there. And I met Simon a few times over the past 2 years. Probably 3 or 4 times now I've been out there, we've had lunch or whatever. And I think the second time he showed me, and I actually got to know his subscription members. I interviewed them and I went to Dubai Watch Week with them. And I saw some of the original high jewelry pieces before they came out, and he trusted me and was super relaxed. Like, he's not like, sign an NDA. There was a magic to it that I'm completely in love with. I don't have a watch. I've been begging for one. I think I'm very far down the list. But it is one of those things that you pick up and you meet him and you just get it. It just, for me personally, set my soul on fire.
Okay, well, so how long has he been making watches?
So he grew up on a farm. It was never really necessarily the plan to create his watches. He was a security guard at big sort of watch brands before going back to college. He then went to, I'm trying to think of the name of the manufacturer, the movement designer, it's completely slipped my mind, who designed some of the biggest watches you'll know today, the movements behind them. So, I mean, he's been in the game for, how old is he? Early 30s?
He's young. Yeah.
15. He's young. He's very young. Very young. He's got a young family. So yeah, young to the game. But I mean, you look at these people, I would differentiate somebody like Recep, who is a watchmaker, from start to finish. But the people that are up and coming right now are all young, exciting talents who all have something different to offer, right? You can't compare a Recep and a Brette, or even a Crayon and a Smith. They're all just different.
Yeah, okay. Oh, independence. A whole different rabbit hole in the independent space.
It's a dangerous one. Dangerous and wildly prohibitively expensive, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm keeping away.
Before we move a little forward, you mentioned he was security, right, for some major brands. So he's got no prior experience in watchmaking.
No, he does. He did that to make some money.
Oh, he does.
Okay. College, watchmaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while studying watchmaking, he was doing security.
Big watch.
Bouncer by
Okay, I was
night.
going to say it's well, he came from security guard to expertise watchmaking.
He is the Batman of the watch world.
Yeah.
He is the vigilante, making sure that things
That's
aren't
cool.
getting
So he
stolen.
wasn't just sitting on his night shift reading books about watchmaking.
No. It's I do wonder how
a
many
torch,
independents have read, like George Daniels'
Mm.
Watchmaking. I wonder how many people read that book and copied it start to finish. I think Jean said he did. Obviously, Roger Smith. I was reading an interview. I can't remember who it was, but it seems to be quite a common thing. I guess it is. It's an inspiring, almost the manual, really, the handbook for it.
We're saying this actually at just episode 70 with Alan, Ben Joseph, and we was talking towards the end, or I was at least. I felt last year there was more focus on independence.
Definitely.
And it's interesting speaking with yourself because a year ago you definitely seemed more centric to like IWC and more of the mainstream.
Yeah.
You had appreciation for independence even then, but I'm sensing
That's the journey.
Yeah. Like, is that the journey, do you think? Like, that's just open, but is there a point where you get your Trinity watch, you think, I'm good with this, and then all of a sudden you're like, no, it's just it's the bottom of the next level of genres and, all these other independents. So.
I think there's something to that. I try not to see it as a tag isn't a stepping stone to an Omega, which isn't a stepping stone, like, I think, again, that's really reductive and almost quite derogatory in a lot of ways. I don't see my IWCs as somehow something I'm not connected to anymore.
Like, you won't go back
to...
No,
I still have them. I love them. Granted, I probably don't wear them as much, but I don't want to wear Reverso as much. Well, I haven't had it, so that's a separate story. But
Yeah, we'll come on to that a bit later on.
Yeah, we'll talk about that absolute fiasco. I don't wear any tags that I own, right? Like, I just don't own... I don't wear them because I'm in a current obsessive phase about...
Honeymoon phase.
Well, AP is an independent, right? It's completely independently owned. But it's not an independent in the way I would define or think of it as like one person in their bench. It's not quite that. Yeah, I think it's a journey, and we all go on it. But I think it would ruin watch collecting, or collecting of anything, if there was this predetermined... If only you had the money, you wouldn't buy that thing.
You have to be here.
Because I don't think that's true. I think I would still buy
the
IWCs that I love if I had $1 billion, right? Because I do love them. I would have probably bought other things as well, and maybe more complicated things. I probably would have an eternal calendar, for example.
Yeah.
But I don't think the brands are so stuck in the mud in that way.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, you have a journey, you have a path with the watches you buy, but
Yeah,
they have a place.
100%.
It's not like they're suddenly replaced by the
100%.
next
My
best thing,
3755. Oh, Andy, me and that thing were deeply connected. It's emotional at this point. I don't think that watch will ever leave my possession. God willing, I don't think that watch will leave my possession.
So it's just your appreciation evolves to independence more.
Like, it's kind of nice knowing people.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. So I've spoken to a few people who are into independence, who sell independence as well. Ballon is one, but I've spoken to a few people recently, and the burning question I have, which you kind of sit at home sometimes and just think about, how did this happen? When did you realize that world is no longer for me? When did you throw your Ferrari off a cliff and think, right, I'm going to go in some independent little car and that's my thing now. I'm going to do what no one else is doing. I'm all in with independence. And a lot of them said, or even what was the click? What was that trigger moment? And they said it was basically being around, not just one, but a few of the watchmakers who run the independents. And they said it's just when you speak to them and you hear what they do and how they can do things differently and how they said you're just fascinated and you want to know more. And then that you suddenly get drawn into it. And then next thing you know, you're in.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. Just really quickly from my perspective, and this comes from the journalistic route. With these bigger brands, you're interacting with representatives of that brand. But when you go to independent, you actually sit in with, the guys who founded the brand, or who are. You might not be with the main man, but you're with an integral part of that company, and I think that you have a connection, and you can really resonate closer with them due to that. And I think that's maybe why independents have the success, because
100%. A good friend of mine, I'm a big Ludovic Ballouard fan. I think we've actually spoken about him before.
Yeah, I love his
number
stuff.
one, him and his wife. I'm obsessed with them. They're like the coolest, most just like beautifully in love, nice. I went out to see them. We filmed a video. We went for lunch, chatted about life and love and heartbreak and all these things. We drove into town. They were just normal humans who, in that moment, I was in a tiny village, half an hour from Geneva. You realise that when you buy their watches, you're putting food on a table of a family. That's what you're doing. And I think that is a special moment. And it was actually TGE, Tom Exton, who said that. He owns an Upside Down. And he said, like, I wouldn't buy an independent that I didn't want to put the food on the table. That's a big thing for me now. Like, I love supporting these people.
Good way to say it, actually. That's I've not heard that reference before.
Yeah, I don't want to claim it. It was Tom, but it really made me see it differently as well. Because there are some brands that I don't resonate with from quite a strategic level.
And I think a lot of the people I was speaking to as well, the people I'm speaking about, the ones who catch the independent brand early, not, I've heard, not the ones everyone knows. Ballouard has got popular now, but not back when it was just coming to the forefront. But they also, another common thing they say is speaking to them when no one knows them. It's just so much more. You just feel so much more connected than, oh, did you know this? They make this watch, and it's almost, this is what I make. No one's telling anyone else. There's no noise around. The only noise is coming from that watchmaker telling you exactly what they do.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'll fall into that trap. You never know.
I hope you do. I think you'll. Well, I hope you win the lottery at the same time as well, because it's.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's probably the biggest reason I'm not. I love all watches. I do love all watches. I'm a watch podcaster. I love talking about everything. To be obsessed, I think, is. I'm actually still in a bit of a Cartier phase, so I can't really talk about independence.
That's interesting.
No, it's just that I bought a Cartier Pasha, and that watch turned my watch game on its head. It literally did. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I was wearing it earlier on today. I speak to people about it. They're like, why do you like this watch? It's nobody, it was basically all the reasons that we've just talked about what we don't like about some people is that, why do you do this? I do this because I want to do it. Mm-hmm. And that's it. It's not like I've sold my house to buy it. But, it's just there's certain things that stir something up in you, and then it have a knock-on effect to get something else. There's something else. Maybe not from the same brand. I haven't bought a Cartier since then. But I've moved things on, and I've added things that I didn't used to have before.
What have you moved on, if you don't mind discussing?
I've moved Rolexes on, actually, to be honest with you. I think it happens to a lot of us.
Yes.
And one of the most satisfying ones I got is a Chopard Mille Miglia with an 18-carat case. And it's got this amazing steel engine-turned dial. And honestly, I just...
Like the dashboard.
Photos, yeah, exactly. It's very motorsport, obviously, Mille Miglia, but vintage motorsport as well. And I look at it, it looks very 1950s. Maybe it's just Don Draper again. But very 1950s, 1960s. It takes me away. A friend of mine had one. He got one for his 40th. And I've always had my eye on that watch. There's just something about it that I've just liked. And then I just thought, just the time came, and I just thought, right, I'm going to move this on, move my Explorer 2 on, and I'm going to get that. And I know people are going to say to me, what are you doing, this, that, and the other. Plus, there's an 18-karat gold case as well for a really good price.
Yeah.
That wasn't the main reason, but it just made more sense. When the stars align, this makes complete sense. You want this watch, buy it, and move on what you have to get it.
100%. I think we're all a bit scared of doing that as well, of just letting go. Well, I think it's because we tell ourselves stories about these things and we attach all this meaning to it, which ultimately is mostly just fabricated because it's either a justification for us to buy it or it's like the story we tell ourselves, right? And then one day you kind of just let it go and you realize, you know what? That watch isn't my mum. That watch isn't...
Yes, yeah.
That thing.
It's true.
Just let it go. It served you...
I'm trying to do the opposite.
What, keep it?
I've always found it easy to swap watches.
Really?
Yeah,
to be honest.
He's trying to hang on to them.
I'm really trying to be the opposite, yeah. And I failed, actually. Well, I let 2 go. But I think that's Palm's fault as well. He influenced me a bit. He was moving things around. I'm like, I think I could up my game as well if I just... Now the market's in my favour to do this, and this.
Yeah.
And that's how I got the AP, due to timing of the market, yeah.
In my defence, I do hold on to things for quite a few years. It's not like I just...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I could ever be on Andy's level.
I'm not that bad now. I've been
not that
pretty
bad
good.
now, yeah. But
I've done a year, I think, without swapping.
Congratulations.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the
recent.
day, we should do whatever we want. It really doesn't bother me that Andy does that. It doesn't mean anything to me. It's just, as long as he's happy, that's the main thing. And as long as I'm happy and no one does my head in about what I do, then that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no right or wrong.
Yeah, but that Chopard, I'm really enamoured. Actually, there's two watches here. The Pasha and the Chopard just make me feel good. I mean, they're new. It may be in a year's time, I'll be saying, oh, God, you know what? Oh,
I've got
can't believe I did that.
So many more questions on this. But we've got to save it, I think, for another one.
I was about to come in there.
We got too deep.
Okay.
Oh, maybe we can just interview Palm. We could just interview Palm. Palm's watch journey.
I'm in.
You could if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got your own show, haven't you? We'll come on that and then you can do it there.
There we go.
But maybe we can spin it in a way. But just quickly, because was it the Pasha what triggered the Chopard and the Patek? Am I allowed to say the Patek? Because I don't know if
Patek's fine, yeah. I am a Patek owner now.
Congratulations! It's a big moment.
Thank you. It was a big moment, yeah.
You're both in the Holy Trinity now.
Exactly. It was that show. We did a show on the Holy Trinity and whether it's valid or not. And literally, we were obsessed after that. A lot of research went into that show. It may have been quite top level for real nerds, but for us, it was like just understanding what they were responsible for in the industry. It wasn't just, oh, look, this is worth a lot of money. Like AP, they released a jump hour recently, but they actually originally, in 1921, the first jump hour was made by them.
And now we have a Neo frame. The Neo frame, yeah.
I'm big into the Neo frame. Controversially, I'm big into it.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah, the Neo frame. Yeah, that's the new one, yeah.
Yeah, that case design is...
Yeah,
is that enamel? Or is it? It's not Vanta Black, is it?
No.
Or is it
not Vanta Black, but it's just the side profile of the case and the way it flows.
Which is completely truthful to the original.
Yeah.
The OG, yeah. Didn't you do the segment on AP in that show, Pam? And I did the segment on Patek, and then I buy an AP and you bought
I did
Patek.
AP and Vacheron, and he did the Patek, and I did, and it was
so
just...
we sold to each other then.
That's hilarious.
We should be in sales.
Yeah, that's it. We're selling each other stuff. That's just a bad business, isn't it? Just selling to your business partner.
It's a very bad business, yeah. Let's sell to Emily instead.
Yeah, I think she's selling us stuff. So let's be careful. Let's see how we all come out of this show. But the Patek was, when you read what they've done, it's just, okay, I think Holy Trinity, AP, Vacheron, amazing, but I just think Patek just like Breguet, just reels off what we've done, yeah. Reels off the lists of what they've done. But, yeah, I don't know where we were on that one. The Pasha.
I think
the Pasha.
The Pasha, yeah, it triggered your whole...
No, but it was because the dial... I think if I got the flat dial without the guilloche or wavy guilloche dial on, the one I've got, and it's got the grill on it as well, so just so like 70s, 80s kind of looking, and it's got the open case back and the detailing on the movement and the rotor. It's something that you just keep staring at. And the Vendome lugs as well. I've never owned a watch with Vendome lugs. Every design aspect about it, and it's Gerald Genta, but that's not why I got it. But then you get Gerald Genta, I think, when you see that. I think well, luckily for me, it didn't cost that much. It's so underrated.
Maybe not anymore. I think you've sold it.
That's it, yeah. I'll sell mine now. Who wants it? £6 million. No. There's some things that you just can't... We get a watch and we're just kind of looking at it like, oh, okay, that's nice. Like this Seiko, I love this Seiko. I could just look at this. But it doesn't stir anything inside me. The Pasha really did kind of...
Brings emotion.
Triggered an existential crisis, a horological existential crisis in that. Why am I doing what I do? Why am I doing what I'm doing?
Who am I?
Who am I?
Yeah, who am I? Literally, that was exactly what happened. That horological existential... questioning.
Crisis.
The stoic in me was triggered.
It's fascinating. Have you had that, Emily? Like one watch, what's changed your whole course of collecting?
Yeah. The 3755, the Da Vinci. Like I struggle to get excited by things in the same way. I every year at Watches and Wonders would be just enamored by something, whereas now it takes a lot for me to get really thrilled, because once you've had that feeling of just pure joy, and it sounds sad, that just connection with the watch, I think you almost I've bought a watch before and felt a bit dirty. Like after it, I'm like, oh,
Oh dear, what's this?
oh.
Erotic
I
dial? Was
got
it?
caught up in the free whiskey, and I don't actually want it. Like,
Oh dear.
what have I done?
Hmm.
Who am I? I've betrayed myself.
Who am I? What am I doing?
Exactly.
Can you say which watch made you feel dirty or
No,
not? You can't.
I can't tell you. I can't.
Okay,
I might
okay.
get blacklisted. So,
Yeah,
okay, fair
I
enough.
still own it. Probably not good, but here we are.
But that's very much your watch, the Da Vinci.
Yeah.
So every time I look at that, anyone wearing that watch, I hear your voice saying about the Kurt Klaus crown operation,
module
single
and,
operation
yeah.
of a vi, and it's just like, yeah, that's an Emily watch. So no matter who's wearing
I'm sorry
it.
that my voice is so like stuck in your mind.
We've talked watch journey a little bit. I think it'd be nice to tap into maybe your social media journey a little bit, because I remember last time we spoke, we even mentioned like a book could be on the cards, or it's something you would like to do.
Yeah.
Where are you at now? Where's the passion leading you? Where's the not so private diary taking you?
Yeah, the public diary of a watch girl. Yeah, the book is still very much in the background. That is, I at university studied history. If you catch me just sort of like relaxing at home, it is usually reading about something archival or technical, or I like to understand things just as a person, and that's maybe why I love watches. Is there's so much to understand. My current thing that I'm obsessed with. Have you come across the square Royal Oaks? The quartz Royal Oaks?
Yeah.
Quartz I have, I don't know.
No, you know the square Royal Oak. Everybody is like, oh yeah, it's for poor man's Royal Oak. It's not the proper one if you buy it.
Yeah. And they never even called it the Royal Oak. They just called it the quartz watch. It's kind of a weird thing. A couple of nights ago, I was just reading the AP Chronicles and trying to understand like how it all fit in. What is this thing? So the book is definitely a dream. It's definitely something that there are a couple of little strands here and there.
Cool.
But I'd say naturally of the last 12 months, it's gone in a different way. It's definitely gone in a, I guess, more video heavy way. I don't really like the phrase. I wouldn't call myself like a content creator. For example, I don't create contents that are on trend, right? It's usually just me following like my voice saying something random. It's just genuinely
Kurt
a
Klaus
diary.
crown operated perpetual calendar. That was kind of
exactly.
things,
It's truly it is. It reads like a diary in the sense of it's just what I was doing that day or what I was talking too much about. Clearly, crown operated perpetuals is up there, but it's actually taken me in a way that I'm really loving actually, which is I shot a video a few days ago with Lange about the Odysseus, and that was a really beautiful. It's by no means my most successful video, but it's probably my favorite I've ever done because it's a combination of history and me just being like, do you know who Odysseus was? And this really cool watch, and that gave me so much joy. I can't tell you. And I've really gotten into other things like that, sort of the concepts of craft. And growing up, I always wanted my own suit.
Your own suit, okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that as well a bit later on, I think. Again, complete transformation. My introduction was not an exaggeration. It's just
no, it wasn't.
Old Emily and new Emily are two different people. It's just the same person, but different. So Odysseus, Homer's Odyssey. What's the connection with the watch then? I don't know. Why did they call it the Odysseus then?
I actually didn't ask them that. It's a great question. I will ask and I will report back. I can't believe I didn't ask. I just explained sort of who it was. I promise you here and now, I will ask Wilhelm and I will report straight back to you.
Perfect. Deal. Perfect. That's a done deal.
Done. I will. I actually can't believe I didn't ask it. I'm borderline embarrassed.
That's because Greek mythology and Roman mythology are just one of those things growing up. It's
there must be a link.
Fascinating. Yeah. So,
it's got to be. I think, well, my guess would be it's something to do with,
Odyssey.
Yeah, and obviously going out, sort of coming back home, waterproofing, who's a sailor. There's probably
interesting way to look at it. Yeah, okay, fair ugh.
Spent a lot of time, on boats.
Integrated bracelet.
Oh, no. I'm clutching at straws here.
But you're going to find out. No, you're the one digging your own hole here.
I will. You know what I'll do? I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try and get Wilhelm at Lange. Yeah, my social media odyssey.
Social media does really lead into my next fascinating. No, my question's not fascinating, but your experience was fascinating.
Might be.
Your lost Reverso. From what I know, is you left your one of your first ever watches, which you mentioned in our first episode together, and you were really enamored by that watch. It was one of your favourite ones because it was your first, I believe, or one of your first.
Mm-hmm.
But you left it on a train.
Yeah.
And then go. What happened after that?
It was lost on a train. Pretty brutal story. I sort of wrote it off. Like, who's going to in London? I get it. Like, I understand why it wouldn't come back to me. I reported it lost and stolen, all the rest of it. Followed all due process. Nothing came of it. 6 months later, I'm on a flight. I've boarded. I was on a night flight to Dubai, and it was, 9 p.m. or something. And the guy, this guy, total stranger, never met him, said, "Look, Emily, you don't know me, but I followed your story. I know this is your watch, or at least I'm very sure. I found it on eBay." They'd left the serial number. They'd taken photos, which typically you obviously don't get. They'd taken photos of the reverse of the case, which has Poco a Poco engraved. So it was almost, how could it not be mine? At least the case was mine. Whether, something in that was mine. Oh, and the strap is patinaed from Guinness, which has a very specific patina to it that I'm very aware of. Because if you look on the inside, you can see where the Guinness didn't fall on it. And I saw that, so I knew. And I was about to set off, so I just had to message a few people like, "Hey, I don't know what to do here." So I messaged Tim Green over at Subdial. He tried to buy the watch from eBay for me. He was like, "Look, it's stolen, so what will happen is it'll go to eBay's verification center, it'll get flagged, and we'll get refunded, whatever." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Flight goes off. I couldn't get any Wi-Fi on the flight, so I just sort of like, okay, I didn't sleep a jot. I landed so tired. I got off my flight and sort of called the people, and long story short, they cancelled the eBay order and said, "Look, and then my other friend tried to buy it from them via Instagram, and their Instagram was like brand new. They just incorporated the company. It was all a bit odd." So I'd called the police, and the police called me in Dubai and said, "Look, like, yeah, it's your property, but you're kind of on your own here." Very, very long story short, I'm like, literally called them. It's like, "Look, I'm going to go." Very, very, direct. And if you think, they said that was it. The line was, "If you're in danger, give us a ring." I was just like, right.
If you're in danger,
we'll do.
okay.
If you're in danger, give us a call. But there was a saving grace. And actually what ended up happening, and kudos to Met Police here, and I think London is a place with its problems, but it's just too easy to make a video and get a load of likes by saying London sucks. So I'd like to reverse that and say somebody told me my watch was online. Then the Met Police set up a detective and 2 police officers to go on a sting operation, where what we did is I texted the guy and was like, "Yep, I'll meet you in this coffee shop," which was next to the police station. It's like 10 seats in this coffee shop. I got there, I met the plainclothes guy like 15 minutes before. I had my coffee in my hand, and I was pretty ballsy before. I was like, I'm just going to run out with my watch. I don't care. I got there, and I was like, yeah, like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm never going to do this.
Shady, very shady, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So he briefed me and he was like, "Look, here's what's going to happen. We're going to meet him. You're going to take the watch, check it, and then give me the nod, and I'm going to make a phone call." I was like, "Okay, fine." So we got in, and it turned out the guy was super nice. We were chatting. He was kind of like selling me the story of the watch, which was a little bit uncomfortable. He tried to give me like a strap with it, because my strap was knackered. Don't know what had happened. I had no real story for the engraving on the back. Anyway, I gave the nod, and my heart was racing. I was like, how do we turn this conversation around here? How do we go from nice to, by the way, we're taking this watch? And I guess this is what the police are trained to do. So my heart's racing. I look at him. He makes a call. This guy doesn't notice. And then all of a sudden, he slides his badge across the table, like the bill or something like that, and goes, "I'm XYZ. This is stolen property. Case reference, blah, 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 blah." This poor guy's face just drops. My face drops, to be honest. There's 8 seats or something in this coffee shop. There's the barista, us 3, and a random woman in the corner. That is it. And this thing unfolds. So I'm like, oh, God, I don't know what. My heart, I couldn't even see. My heart was pounding. But it was super cool. He just kind of was like, whatever. So then this guy goes, "Look, I don't know you're actually a police officer. Can I take your number?" He's like, "Yeah, of course." And I don't know if he really believed it. And then in that moment, the most insane thing happened. 2 6'5", fully clothed, fully uniformed police officers.
Fully clothed. Well, thank God.
That's what I said in the video.
It gets even more spicy.
I was quite disappointed. Yeah. I was expecting quite the show. 2 6-foot-odd, massive police officers come in the door of this tiny coffee shop. One stays by the door. One comes right behind me. So it's me, the police officer, and the guy here. I'm like, honestly, I had to laugh at that point. The guy's then like, okay, fine, fair enough, take the watch. I'm glad you've got your, because I told him a story. I'm glad you got it back.
So what was his story? Yeah.
It turns out, he'd bought it off eBay. So eBay had sold a watch, and they claimed to put it through their verification, which checks if it's lost and stolen. Clearly not. And he showed me the receipt. The guy did buy it legitimately. Turns out later down the line, so we left. My heart was pounding. I had my watch. It had been polished to high heaven. It wasn't quite working properly. But I had it back. And it turns out that he'd bought the watch through eBay. So by using my crime report, he got a full refund from eBay.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That's good because he was a victim
He did
as well,
actually say,
right?
I've learned a lesson here, which is I should check the register myself, which I respected. And now it's back. So it's just been to JLC. I actually picked it up today, so good timing. Oh, yesterday, sorry. It's back.
Oh, really?
Service.
Okay.
They've sorted out the engraving, and there's a new strap, different colour, bit of fun, bit of excitement for its new chapter.
Yeah. And you've got a new viewer for your YouTube channel, the guy who you nearly threw in prison.
You know what's funny? I forgot about this. So obviously I never followed his Instagram account. I posted a video about this happening, and it went viral in about an hour. It was crazy. Like, we're talking 500,000 views in 3 hours. Like, really insane. I had to uninstall the app because the app was so... I know I can't... There was kind of a lot of weird comments. Okay. As you can imagine, like, people in London, whatever. And then he messaged me out of the blue on this account, being like, hey, I'm the guy that was in this video. My friend just sent me this watch, because I talk about him. Obviously, don't name him, but yeah, so he'd seen it as well.
What I'm getting from that is how to go viral is...
Get your watch
fabricate your story. Make a fabrication of your real story.
Yeah, and then say that naked police officers turned up. That went down really well.
Yeah, then 6'5" naked police officers, you know. It's just,
and apparently I behave like Gordon
Simple.
Ramsay. I got quite a lot of pictures of me AI'd as Gordon Ramsay's daughter. That happened quite a lot, which I loved. I respected that. I'm into that. But I keep atting Gordon. He's not willing to take a paternity test. I have asked.
Yeah, what's this Gordon Ramsay thing? I think I've seen on your Instagram. There's some. Is that a joke that this
from that
Gordon
video,
Ramsay's daughter thing?
It has like 5,000 likes or something stupid. It's like, are you related to Gordon Ramsay? And then even now, months later, I get a load of comments being like, I ran to the comments to say this. Like, yeah, the Gordon Ramsay thing is or Boris Johnson. I kept replying because people said that, are you related to Boris? I said, yes, he's my uncle 3 times removed. And it got to a point where somebody defended me in a comment saying, yeah, dumbass, she's like, Boris is her uncle. Like, which I loved. Not true, by the way. Not true, but kind of funny.
And I'm glad, otherwise we'd end this show right now. No, I'm joking. But
Gordon's acceptable.
So we've got time for
Gordon's
today.
good.
I'm looking forward to... I've not watched his Netflix documentary. He's a big IWC guy. I mean, just a big watch guy, but...
He's a big watch guy, yeah.
He's in deep. He's got this insane cars as well.
Yeah, his cars are collector's cars, aren't they?
Yeah,
he gets the... Yeah. He's a big Rolex guy, I think, as well, isn't he? And Breitling? I don't know. He's just everything, I think, yeah. See, that's what I like. A whole round... You like everything, you know. There's no, oh, God, why do you like that?
Yeah.
Even like, a lot of brands get much maligned, but I think being rounded is the best way.
100%.
So I'll give you my thinking. The reason I went quiet here is I think that was kind of a peak to end on. Personally, that story was quite gripping.
Yeah, okay.
I think we're sweet where we're at, to be honest. I was captivated listening to that.
Positive, paraded through the streets. Yeah.
Me and my naked police officers.
Cheering like, you through the street. Oh, you're on their shoulders, yeah.
That's how I should be forever.
How can we top it?
Now. Emily, there's a story with Emily and these naked coppers.
Yeah, God.
It'd be a good thumbnail. I'm looking forward to seeing the thumbnail.
Behind a paywall.
Yeah. It's my only fan.
If you want to hear the real truth,
yeah.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
Exactly. $8.99, you can have the explicit version.
Right, that does sound like a... I don't know what... We're going a bit too deep into this now.
I think I officially just threw Palm off there.
I don't know if we're ending the show or we're going deeper into this.
No, I think it's a good... I think... God, it's good. It's a good ending point here, I think.
On that happy story, on that very...
Don't say happy ending.
Happy ending, that has to be. It has to be.
Well, on that happy ending, I think that's probably all we've got time for today, and it seems to have flown past. I'm sure we could do another hour, but it's probably a good time to call it a night.
Yeah, I think we've finished on a high, a captivating story, and really happy
ending, yeah.
You got your JLC back. I mean, that's a great story.
My friends.
And it shows his humanity, right? Things can go our way, even when everything feels against us at times. So,
Right? I think
yeah,
there's
it's great.
something in that. I think that's why the video kind of went a bit crazy. Most of the comments were like, "This is amazing to see," right? That there is
Hope.
It's just I don't know. Again,
There is hope.
there's so
Yeah,
much hope.
it's
People
not all
are good.
negative.
For the most part, people are so good and want to help and are kind. I would never have gotten my watch back without the kindness of about 10 different people. So
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of London. and
yeah.
just-
Have faith in humanity.
The
It's not what-
kindness of strangers. I mean, which is we think is very rare, but it does exist. And London
and
gets
the
so
watch
much
community.
stick, but I don't. Yeah, I'm totally agree with you. I think it's not a war zone. It's a city. It's just a big city with problems, like every other
Like all
city
of
has.
Exactly.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure having you on the show, Emily, as always. And let's not leave it a year until you're back on again, unless we've scared you away.
Yeah, 2020.
Well, book in the slot, March 2027.
Yep, we'll book it in.
So I will do the fast classic sign off. It's adios, hasta luego from Barcelona, and you'll hear me on the next one.
And as Andy says, farewell from Barcelona in Spain. Emily from London, is there anything you'd like to say to our listeners?
I have no pearls of wisdom to give anyone in this life, but London's not too bad. How about that? That's what I got for you tonight.
Yep, and a goodbye maybe.
Oh, sorry. Yes, manners. Always have manners. Say please and thank you. Say hello and goodbye. And on that note, goodbye and good night.
And always end on a happy note, right?
It's relentless with these happy endings.
So as Emily says, farewell from London. You have been listening to Chrono Passion 7 on the CP7 podcast. From London, it's Toodle Pip and laters, and we'll see you, and you'll hear us in the next one.